Satellite feed confirmed.
On a foggy day in June, we pulled up to the pond and unloaded our gear. The forecast called for a short break from a dreary, rainy spring. With summer adventure on our minds, we hatched a plan to test a new toy. After some basic assembly, and with the help of the world's loudest air pump, we were nearly ready to hit the water. Heading out for the first paddling camp of the season. Adam's got a new toy here. It's a two-person inflatable kayak. This will be our first trip out with it for the night, so we're back where we were last year to test out the rafts. Speaking of which, remember the Kondor 2000? We took these out on a pack rafting trip last fall, through a couple of ponds and down a hiking trail. I'll link the video to that somewhere around here, but we got something bigger in store for this year, so we're testing these out this time. We hitched up our literal pack raft, slapped a skeg on the supposed kayak, and the harbor master stopped by for an inspection. There was a slow valve leak on one of the kayak's gunnels, but we slipped the ducker a bill, and everything was declared ship shape. Okay, bye. Loading up the raft, neither of us knew what to expect. It was nearly impossible to paddle. Would the drag make it untowable too? The fog was thinning, but the black flies were thickening. We took to the water and hoped for the best.
Oh, the bugger bugs.
Once on the water, the sun started to break through. It's not clear in the phone footage, but 50 plus crows gathered on a nearby cluster of treetops. One would make a series of clicks, and the crowd would caw in response. After several minutes, the conference ended, and half of the crows headed west. Despite the cramped seating arrangement, we were able to lock it in immediately. On calm water like this, the pack raft was barely noticeable behind us. Before long, we had reached the short trail to the campsite. The first test paddle was a success, and the weather was improving as the forecast predicted. We were not prepared for how tough setting up camp was going to be.
That's actually pretty great.
My brother Adam and I just took a two-person inflatable kayak across the pond, towing a raft with our stuff in it. We're testing things out for a bigger trip later this year. Just arriving at the campsite now. Adam's here getting set up, or at least comfortable.
Nice big fire pit for what we're cooking tonight.
Within moments, a swarm of black flies 30 million strong descended upon us. We were standing around here talking about how we're going to hang our hammocks for the night, but I don't know if you can see it. The black flies are insane right now. We've had such a wet spring, and now the temperature's warmed up and the wind has gone down. Oh. Yeah, we're going to get a fire lit to deal with these flies, and then we'll worry about the hammocks. Ta-da! Until we could start making smoke, we had to keep moving and gather some firewood. Finding dry wood on the Avalon Peninsula is always a challenge because of the wet climate.
Pants won't have big enough pockets.
A piece of standing dead wood might look dry. Timber! More often, the log is rotted by leaching water. You can see the bottom of the log here is pretty wet from soaking up all the bog. So we're going to cut it a little higher up, see what it looks like there, and decide what to do.
Good. Well, top looks rotten.
Fatality. Oh, I'm getting chewed alive for this B-roll. I hope you like it. I cannot convey to you what these black flies are like right now. Anybody from here knows, but it's just insane. I'm not wearing a hood for the temperature. It's pretty warm out today. It's purely for the flies.
They're pretty horrible.
Dude, you're covered.
I don't care anymore.
There's just too many flies. We huddled in the smoke while building up the fire. In our gray oasis, we could rest easy. By evening, the flies would dissipate, and we could prepare a feast. For now, it was time to start getting organized. Look at this insanity. They just don't mind. We assembled our chairs on a ground sheet and sat down for a snack. Slide this bag down over that and you got yourself a hanging pouch. Now that we're out of the flies, we're not really in any rush to get camp set up. We got some pretty nice supper plans for tonight, which we'll show you later on. For now, we're just going to have this snack, maybe get the kettle going and have a drink. Over the seasons, we've developed a rhythm for camping. Adam tended to the fire while I prepared for afternoon tea. We each know what the other will bring and which chores to tackle when. We're having a couple of packs of honey ginger tea. This stuff is going to go really well with the cured meat. There was more work to do, but that could wait until the flies settled down. While the kettle boiled, we prepared some more firewood and did some filming. There you go, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
I can't see.
Me neither.
Woo!
I'm going to 300 mil.
Past 300 cubic centimeters. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, that's tasty.
Next up was a simple bushcraft project. First, Adam harvested a sickly spruce for a suitable log. We decided on precisely the correct height and fashioned a pair of tripods. What are we working on here?
Tripod.
Finally, Adam shaved the bark from a stick of mountain ash I cut nearby. For tonight, dinner, we have a couple of russet potatoes, a couple of cobs of corn. We're going to wrap those in foil, toss them in the fire, and the pièce de résistance.
Cornish hen. It's going to be spit roasted over the fire.
Oh yeah.
I'm just going to go out in the kayak and hoping to catch a fish. Fishing season just opened. I don't really know what I'm doing. I've only caught a few fish in my life, but I'm hopeful. I know I've had a few bites in this pond before, I just never managed to reel anything in.
I believe in you. Enjoy your paddle.
Thanks. I'm walking down to the pond side. I'm gonna go for a little fish. Probably won't spend super long because we kind of want to get supper going, but I want to try my luck because I brought the things for it.
While Adam went fishing, I set about some camp chores. Even in the shade of the forest, it was still a gorgeous afternoon.
I'm gonna go in either way, but I just got in and realized that this side is pretty dang deflated compared to this side. When we were blowing it up, I noticed that there was a bit of a leak coming from this valve, but I thought we solved it. Maybe not. Oh. Either way, I'm gonna get out and try a bit of fishing anyway while we still got it. Worst case scenario, we've walked around this pond before. It's not that bad to get back.
I figured why not fly out and see how the fishing is going. I lit the fire with the drone. Let's go to drone cam.
No luck so far. I have it out right now. But it's a beautiful day, honestly. Being out here right now makes it so much nicer. This side of the kayak is definitely deflated a little bit. But it still feels cool to have a little inflatable kayak.
Setting up our hammocks could wait. It was time to start thinking about supper. Alright, time to get the corn on.
The only thing I caught was the bottom. So now I'm just gonna haul the kayak back out and go get started on supper.
Here comes the man himself. How was your paddle?
It was a good paddle. No fish, but it was actually beautiful being out on the pond. It feels way nicer than being here in the shade.
I wrapped the veggies in foil and tossed them next to the hot coals. We tethered the Cornish hen to the spit with some wire and set it roasting. Before long, it was time for our appetizer.
It's actually really good.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Check that out. Delicious. Oh, this bird is looking tasty. The bird was looking good. We portioned it out and found it wasn't quite ready yet. So we wrapped the halves in foil for a quick blast from the coals.
That bowl is just excellent.
Oh, I love it. Oh, can we see? Can we see? What can we see? Oh, I gotta zoom out. Look at this. Holy moly. That's gonna be good. Nice one, dude.
Teamwork.
Dinner was delicious and unanimously declared a great success. Okay. Oh, supper was absolutely delicious. Sun's getting kind of low in the sky now. Oh, I'm all zoomed in. Supper was absolutely delicious. Sun's getting kind of low in the sky now, so we're going to get our beds set up. We each brought hammocks tonight, so we're going to just set them up here on the front of the site. Ooh. Some careless people left beer cans here. Let's take a look at the beds, shall we? I've got the MEC Down 5.0 set up for tonight. MEC Down Sleeping Bag inside. Got the bug net pulled around. There's a small chance of some drizzle throughout the evening, but I'm going to take my chances without the tarp. Hopefully that doesn't backfire on me. Adam's got his hammock here. Bug net set up on top. He's got a quick diamond tarp pitch. It's about 8:15 right now. We got over an hour left until sunset. We're just a couple of weeks away from the longest day of the year up here. You can hear Adam in the woods behind me. He's just getting the last piece of firewood for the night. The sun set and we passed the time fireside. It's about 10:30 p.m. We're tucking into the hammocks for the night. See you in the morning. Hope it doesn't rain. I woke up just before 6, thankful I was both dry and free of insects. Adam wasn't far behind me. We went down to the pond to fetch some water and enjoy the early morning sun. It was a rare morning, to be certain. Recharged with photonic energy, next up was caffeine. I got this coffee freshly roasted at a small chain called Serious Coffee on Vancouver Island. They only had labels for decaf, but decaf this ain't.
Part of oil.
Coffee's ready. The morning was off to a good start. Almost too good. Oh. Last time I checked the forecast, it was saying there was going to be rain again later today, so we got a really prime night between last night and this morning. Super comfortable in the hammock overnight. Didn't even put the tarp up. Paid off for me. Got a nice sunny morning. Oh. Pretty warm night too. I ended up getting a little too hot in that down sleeping bag and having to take off a few layers, but overall that's like the best complaint you can have.
Yeah, I didn't even have the underquilt on my hammock, and I was warm enough. It's my winter sleeping bag, but not using an underquilt was a bit of a gamble, and it was perfectly fine.
I don't know if you can hear the loons. They were going crazy last night too. Really cool. Sluggishness dispelled, we sprung into action and tore down camp. You might have noticed the bottle on this tree. Here's what it looks like up close.
Alright, that means worst case scenario, you can always blow up the whole thing by mouth with no tool.
We knew the valve on the Kayak's gunnel had a slow leak, but we had one other problem to create for ourselves before we could paddle out. Bye, seat.
One of the benefits of having the gear in the Kondor first is we can tie it down easier. I mean, put the gear in first, just because it's just easiest to get the gear in and tie it down.
In an almost poetic failure of judgment, we loaded our packs into the raft. These things are a lot like us, really. Big ol' hole. Fragile, with an inflated sense of adventure.
It's a big hole.
We used an air mattress patch as a quick fix, re-inflated the raft. You might be wondering, why would we inflate this raft by mouth? Because right now, it's the best way. And set out.
We got it all inflated. I'm hoping the issue with the gunnel deflating was the valve, I think, was just a little bit loose. So that wouldn't be the worst problem ever. We had to fix a hole that we punctured in the bottom of the Kondor because I thought it would be better to load up the bags on the shore because we didn't want to do it in the pond and tie them up and have to stand in the water doing it. It was a pretty big hole from a little tiny branch, but we patched it up using a sleeping pad patch kit. I think it'll be fine, at least for this trip. It's a beautiful day out on the pond.
Mama duck and baby duck. Duck family. Alright, skipper. We're good to go.
Boy.
Beautiful morning on the water. We got the pack raft behind us, patched up with an air mattress patch kit. That'll get us across the pond this time, but we'll need to get a more serious patch on the go for what we've got planned coming up in the next month or so. Assuming I survive, I'll see you in the next video. Until then, it's time to make tracks.
This is 7 November Golf. Roger, request you check your Romeo side. I'll go ahead and check my Tango side. 7 November Golf out.